These are some of the examples of concave mirror. When you keep your hand in front of a normal mirror, it will be looking in a same size. But if you keep your hand in front of a concave mirror, it would be of a bigger size. So the reflection which has been formed in the mirror would be of a bigger size. So the concave mirror has been used by dental specialists, wherein they can see inside the mouth having a big image being formed on the concave mirror. And some other examples have been given, but I'll explain about these things later. So these are the examples of convex mirror. Plane mirror gives a same size of an image, whereas the concave mirror gives a bigger size of an image, and convex mirror gives the smaller size of an image. And the convex mirror covers a lot of area. This is the reason why it is being kept in ATMs or else on the road, so that you can be able to see the vehicles at the back of you, all the vehicles at the back of you. If it is a normal mirror, only few vehicles you can see at the back of you. If it is a convex mirror, you can have a view of large amount of vehicles and entire road would be visible in the mirror. This is the reason why it is being kept in your bikes. So friend, these are the parallel lines. You know this, right? A and B, both the lines are parallel to each other. I'm just telling you about this to have a better understanding about the further topics. So think that these two are the parallel rays. So in which direction are the rays moving? Light rays. It might be from a candle or from another source, but in which direction are these rays moving? These are moving in a upward direction because the arrows are pointing to upwards. You can find the two arrows which have been given in the middle, which are pointing in an upward direction. Look at this image. You can find two situations in here. In the first situation, there is a candle which is kept in front of a thermocol block with two nails on it, and these nails are parallel to each other. But look at the shadow. The nails which are in the shadow are diverging from each other. Diverging means they are looking like a V shape, right? They are far from each other. They are not parallel. This is because the rays are diverging from the candle, and when it is hitting the nail, the same thing, the shadow is also forming in the same manner. But with respect to the second situation, when we place the candle a bit far, you can look at the shadow also, it is parallel to each other. Because if the light source is far, generally the rays would be parallel. So you can, from this experiment you can assume that as the sun is very far from earth, so the rays of the sun will also be parallel on earth. Hello friends, we will now start with the topic reflection of light on a concave mirror. But before getting into the topic, I want you to know certain small rules which helps you to understand the topic better. We are not started yet with the images, but I'll tell you certain small rules. In this image you can look at there is a concave mirror as it's shaded outside, and there is a pole. F is the focus and C is the center of curvature. Always remember one thing, that from P to C it is the radius. It is the radius of the sphere, and focus is always half of the radius. Okay, now there is a candle being placed in front of the concave mirror, right? There is a candle and a ray which is coming from a concave mirror. There is a ray coming from a concave mirror. There will be many rays, but in order to understand this topic, we'll just take single ray. We'll do this with the help of 1 ray, 2 ray or 3 rays. Candle will be giving generally large number of rays, but for our better understanding of the topic, we'll take in this manner. So there is a ray R2 which is passing from the focus. Have you observed that? the ray is been passing from the focus and hitting the concave mirror. When any ray from the source passes from the focus, it will form parallel to the principal axis. Principal axis is, I guess you know about the principal axis. We have discussed this earlier. P to C, this line is a principal axis. So if a ray passes from the focus, it is always it will form a parallel reflection. For example, if an incident ray passes from the focus, the reflected ray would always be parallel to the principal axis. Simple, right? In the previous image, you have observed that a ray was passing from the focus, and if the ray was passing from the focus, it will form a parallel reflection to the principal axis. But in this case, in this particular image, you can find that the ray is passing from center of curvature, right? So it is again reflected in the same line. So both the incident ray and the reflected ray are the same line, because if a ray passes from center of curvature, it again reflects in the same direction. This is the second rule. Remember this thing. We have learned two rules, right? First rule is that the ray is passing from the focus and it is reflected. The reflected ray would be parallel to the principal axis. The second rule is that if the ray is passing from the center of curvature, it will again reflect in the same direction. And this diagram is with respect to the third rule. Look at the ray which is denoted by R in the diagram. It is parallel to the principal axis, right? So if the ray is parallel to the principal axis, the reflected ray would pass from the focus. So remember these three rules very well, because this helps you to understand the entire unit perfectly. In this image, you can find a concave mirror and a candle placed in front of it. There are two incident rays going from the candle and touching the concave mirror, again getting reflected. At the point A, the reflected rays are intersecting each other, means these two reflected rays are touching at the point A. So beyond the point A, that is at the point B, capital letter B, if you place a paper sheet at the point B, you can find the image of the candle on the paper being formed. So this is known as a real image, as the image is real and formed in front of the concave mirror.